The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, is brought to you by, well, of course, you. If you want to learn more about how you can support the show, go to patreon.com/expat2020. Hey everyone, welcome to The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. This is episode 43. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, who doesn't go by any prefixes or suffixes. My co-host, Dan. How you doing today, man?
I'm all right. Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm melting in this sweltering humidity out here in Japan.
Really?
Yeah, as you know quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 23, 24 degrees, but it's like 100% humidity, gray clouds, rainy every day. Yesterday, it just rained the whole day out here. It's
what a treat.
Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah. I've been watching, Tokyo live cams and stuff lately, and it's been pissing down most of the week.
Yeah.
Over there, it's been Oh, great.
How's the weather out there for you in the UK?
It's been fairly nice this week, but today it's raining. It's raining, and it sounds really nice actually. I just sat in front of my window here, looking out onto sunny Cambridge. Or rainy Cambridge.
Yeah, I don't know when we're going to see the sun again out here in Japan. Probably in another week or two. They're still saying
with a vengeance.
Yeah, they're still saying that the rainy season is in full swing. Usually, it's supposed to be June, but
yeah, it's late. Yeah,
it's been late for the past few years now. It's like the early part of July. But anyway,
yeah.
So anyway, we got a lot of stuff to cover today. We're going to be talking about xCloud on PC and iOS. We're going to be talking about Konami and Bloober Team announcing a partnership. Also, Ghost of Tsushima getting a director's cut, as well as Sony and their studio acquisitions this past week. And our topic of the show is going to be about acquisitions. And of course, Dan, you have your retro topic this week.
Yeah.
What are you going to be talking about today in the retro topic?
The Alex Kidd remake.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. So we got a lot of stuff to cover today. So let's go ahead and first, our little brief comment about where you can find the podcast, and then we will talk about what we've been playing this week right after this brief message.
Before Dan and Expat discuss what they have been playing, this episode of The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, will be going up on Patreon at patreon.com/expat2020 in early access for the first 3 days after recording. So if you would like to support the show and become a patron at the entry tier 1 level at $1 per month and get early access to every episode and listen ad-free along with other perks, including exclusive post-show content after every show, plus special bonus episodes, please visit patreon.com/expat2020 for further details. On Tuesdays each week, the podcast will be uploaded to all of the free podcast services, or you can find us on any podcast app for iOS or Android, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Expat's YouTube channel, Expat 2020 Gaming. Just download your favorite podcast app, or open Spotify and search for The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. Subscribe, follow us, post a review, and leave us questions, comments, and feedback if you like, if that feature is available there, and spread the word about the podcast. We also have a Discord called The Arena Podcast, where you can join and chat with the Arena Podcast community, and a website at expat2020.podbean.com, where you can follow us and leave questions and comments as well. Finally, you can also follow us on Twitter at The Arena AMPGNP, as well as on Instagram at The Arena_podcast. Now, back to the show.
So Dan, I've been playing Scarlet Nexus. So,
yeah,
on Series X, and this is just my opinion. It's kind of like Earth Defense Force meets Persona.
Okay.
That's how I kind of see it. The music is very, very Persona in the game. The characters are interesting. the combat, it's very hack and slash. It's pretty much that's all it is, hack and slash. But I mean, you have these like psychic and brain type of powers that basically the game is like 2,000-3,000 years into the future. So it's like a futuristic type of Tokyo. And when you look at it, the art style is very beautiful. You're running around and you're in a team that's battling these alien invaders. They're called Others. And, you know, the Japanese way of these types of games with aliens, the Others are like, imagine a female set of legs and then cut off in the center and then flowers are growing up out of them.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's wacky.
Very wacky. Yeah. So this game has some wacky enemies, but like I said, it's pretty much hack and slash. And you have different type of like telekinetic powers that you can use in combat. And you can also play off of your partners that you're playing with. The other characters in the game, they have different types of powers and abilities. You can feed off of their abilities as well as the game progresses. So it's fun, but the only downside I see to it is just there's so much dialogue, man. So much dialogue. Just like 5 minutes of just back and forth between two, members, and they're talking about relationships and how they want to talk to this one girl. And I don't care so much about that. I just, I want to progress with the story and go on and get into the combat, but I don't want to skip those parts because I might miss, something that pertains to the story, but other than that, I've put about 5-6 hours into it so far. It's fun, it's fun. And I'm sure it's going to get more difficult as the game progresses, but
for sure.
Yeah, and I finished Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart before I started Scarlet Nexus, and it's a beautiful game. The characters are awesome. I mean, it's about 10 to 12 hours worth of story missions. So I mean, you could go a lot longer if you do side quests, but it's a beautiful game, man. And it's I would say it's the first true PS5 game. It takes advantage of that SSD drive, everything. So I really highly recommend that. But Scarlet Nexus is what I've been playing. So how about you, Dan?
I've been doing a lot of train driving, lots and lots of train driving. That's been great. And dipping into more retro stuff. So I'm trying to play all the Metroid, like everyone else on the planet. I'm trying to play all the Metroid games before Dread comes out. Yeah. So a couple of nights ago, I was trying to play the original NES Metroid, which, oh god, it's such a chore. Last night I was sorry. It was so the NES Metroid is just unbelievably hard and fairly miserable. As I've always said, though, I love the series, but Metroid 1 on the NES is borderline unplayable.
Wow.
It's not hard. It's not challenging. It's just cruel and it's anti-player. So I'm still playing that, but I'm not streaming that anymore because I end up me swearing at it. But last night I streamed Zero Mission, the remake, on the Game Boy Advance for like 2 hours, and that was bloody good. That's it's so many magnitudes better. It's just they took all the best bits of Metroid, Super Metroid, and they repaired the original NES Metroid with that material, and it's so good now. So that's what I was doing, and then just be working my way through the entire series, hopefully in time. Well, actually, it will be in time because they're not very long. Like at least 2 of them can be finished in one sitting. So
one sitting, like what, maybe 3 or 4 hours or so?
No shit, Super Metroid. I mean, I'm not. I know the route. I'm not a speedrunner, but I could easily do that in an hour and a half maximum.
Okay.
The Super Metroid, I think Metroid 2 on the Game Boy isn't particularly long either. So a couple of them can be done in a one and done. I think Fusion can as well. No, maybe Fusion would take 3 hours because I've played it so many times. I know where I'm going, but
So what's your prediction, Dan, for Metroid Dread? For how long of a game, the campaign? How long is it going to be? Do you think?
I don't know. Yeah, because none of them are particularly long. Yeah. Especially if they do all the hand-holdy shit. Like one of the things that, I mean, Samus Returns, the 3DS remake from a few years ago, is pretty sure, only because there's a lot of hand-holding. It tells you where to go and stuff. Like, Super Metroid and original Metroid are way longer simply because there isn't any of that. Like, Super Metroid, you get a map, but not necessarily told where to go. So that's the happy balance. But in in Zero Mission and in Fusion and in Samus Returns, it kind of tells you where you should be going.
Okay.
Which of course, depletes game time.
Yeah.
Exponentially. So yeah. But I'll probably 3, 4, 5 hours. 8 for the completionist to 100% it. New Game Plus, hard mode, that sort of jazz will be in there. So there'll be stuff to keep it going for sure.
Yeah, let's hope it's worth the money. That's for sure. So.
Oh, well, they've already got my money, so whatever.
Oh, so you have pre-ordered it already, right?
Oh, friggin' right, I have. Yeah. And also, can I say a big F you to all the scalpers out there? I don't know why. It's like scalpers are buying this game and putting it up on eBay,
really?
But it's readily available. Like, there's so much stock of it. I don't know why they're bothering.
Yeah.
Like it's like trying to buy a candy bar and adding 50 cents to it. It's like, why bother? They're everywhere. What are you doing? So It's really weird. Also, remember, fuck all scalpers. Just throw it in there.
Yeah. It's kind of like the equivalent of DDoS attacks, just to piss people off, Yeah,
it just doesn't make any sense. And they won't make any money from it because the game is readily available. It's back on Amazon now. It's sold out because of course it will.
Yeah.
But now Nintendo's gone, there's going to be this many stock, and it's great. It's back up. So now it's readily available. Piss off with your scalping, you sad twat. So, yeah.
All right. Well, okay. So now it's on to the weekly news beat. So early this week, this last week on Monday, so this is from The Verge, Microsoft finally delivered 2 long-in-the-works updates for its Xbox cloud gaming service. So one of them is that the games are going to be now powered by custom Xbox Series X hardware. So it's basically a major upgrade from the Xbox One S consoles that had powered the service since it launched back in September of last year. And also one of the other, for example, upgrades or updates, I should say, is that now higher resolution 1080p streaming is going to be available. And faster load times as well. So it's expanding from Android to iOS. So, of course, iPhones and iPads will be able to play Xbox games now, which is really interesting. I don't understand how they're going to work this out with like iPhones and iPads. I mean, iPhones I can see, and one of the videos that I saw having kind of like a Switch type of connected kind of pad that you can use with your iPhones or whatever. But with an iPad, the touch controls with some Xbox games, I don't know how that's going to work. But anyway, it's going to be available in 22 countries, of course, and it's going to be coming to Japan soon as well. And of course, if you're an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, this is a part of your subscription now. I don't know, man. I mean, here in Japan, I was saying this during my live stream last night on Twitch, but I think that this could be the dent that Xbox is trying to make in Japan, because I'd say a third of mobile users in Japan at least are using iPhones or more, as opposed to Android. I mean, it's probably like a 3-to-1 ratio, I would say. So people having the opportunity, if they get Game Pass Ultimate, of course, but if they do that and have access to games on their iPhones, I mean, that could be a big selling point for Xbox in Japan in the near future or into the future. So I don't know. What do you think, Dan? I mean, and plus the 1080p streaming, as well as, for example, the faster load times. How do you think this is going to work out moving forward for the cloud service?
I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to get past the stage where I don't think it's just a gimmick. I mean, it might help sell a few more subscriptions in Japan, but again, I'll keep coming back to the point of, why does anyone want to play a 4K 40 hours game on a friggin' smartphone? I don't think anyone does.
Yeah,
like I generally don't understand. Like, they shift to 8K before long, and who wants to play like freaking, like, imagine like what's a big game coming out? Like Starbound.
Starbound? You mean Starfield?
That's whatever it's called. Oh no, Starbound's that other game, the better game. Anyway, Starfield, right? So when that comes out, glorious 4K visuals. You're playing it on a fucking smartphone.
Yeah.
Like, why? Yeah. You're gonna miss everything. I'll take this to my grave. I'm baffled by this push.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's pointless.
I understand where you're coming. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from there, but I mean, not every game is going to be like 4K, 8K type of game. I mean, look at all the indie titles that are on Game Pass that you could play.
But you're but you're still fundamentally limited by your screen size.
Yeah.
It's like I generally don't know why this is a thing. Like that's why mobile games aren't the same as console, because mobile games are designed to be played in that small screen. They're often very simplified. They're much simplified touch controls. They're all about just grabbing and swiping, moving stuff around.
Yeah.
Single point of impact press. Like you're saying, like are you gonna have a virtual pad on an iPad? Like, how is that gonna friggin' work? Because the Xbox pad has like freaking 16 buttons, 4 of which are freaking analog.
Yeah.
Like, how the bloody hell are you gonna arrange it on an iPhone screen? Again, I don't know why this is a thing. I don't get it.
Well, another thing that worries me too is the latency issues. I mean,
that's probably going to thing. Yeah,
because in the article from The Verge that I was pointing out, the person who wrote the article was discussing how he was trying like Forza Horizon 4 and like Halo multiplayer on it, and there were some latency issues, but it was improved, but there were still latency issues. So I mean, that's. I think that's what's going to hinder the service until it gets better. But
probably,
yeah. I mean, but I think with Xbox cloud gaming, though, with all of the games that they have right now, they do have an advantage over, I think, Stadia and Luna, like Amazon Luna, because of the fact they do have so many other games available.
Oh yeah.
So, it'll be interesting to see, but. Yeah, I mean, if there is a country, though, that would want to play a game on an iPhone, it would probably be Japan, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that's the barrier. I generally don't know, and I don't know if it's the appeal of the mobile phone games as they're designed, as they're meant to be played. Very simple, addictive. Reward based things, hopping in every day, playing a little bit on the train. I don't know if that translates to the sort of material that Xbox is offering people.
Yeah,
on this service, because
we shall see. Yeah,
and again, dropping in for a 3-minute burst of Halo Infinite, why bother again? Cool, whatever.
Yeah, and then like games like Sea of Thieves, like which they showcased in that video. Multiplay. I mean, a lot of people probably on their phones or, on their iPads or whatever could probably play that. I don't know, but yeah, we shall see. But so a couple upgrades to the service. So making some waves earlier this week. And next up, for a while we thought that Konami was pretty much dead, right, Dan? I mean, when it came to making games.
I'm still not convinced they aren't, but yeah.
Yeah, well, this week, of course, Konami and Bloober Team. Bloober Team is responsible for the game that came out on Game Pass earlier this year for Xbox called The Medium.
Yeah.
So they've signed a new strategic cooperation agreement, and it'll see the companies create games together. And what a lot of people are speculating now is Bloober Team in February, they talked about they were working on an existing horror IP from a very famous gaming publisher.
Yeah.
So a lot are probably speculating now with Konami and Bloober Team making this, agreement that it's going to be a Silent Hill. So I don't know. What do you think, Dan? Do you think we're going to get another Silent Hill?
No? If anything, it'll be in name only. There'll be one.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be all sorts of inspired, modernized takes on what was already a pretty flawless bloody setup.
Yeah.
Which will water down and annoy the true fans, I imagine. But yeah, or they're making the CG for the inevitable Silent Hills pachinko machine. they're making all interactive parts of that. But yeah, no, I mean, it would make sense for them to make that, because all Konami have left are names, are the IPs now, because they don't make games. They just sit on those IPs and just release remasters and reissues, and they'll try and haul those out as long as they can. So, almost certainly would be a Silent Hill thing, because why not make money off the name and then run?
Yeah, because they're not going to do that with Metal Gear now. Yeah, Metal Gear Survive. What a disaster that was, right?
Yeah, they need to. I don't know. There's been rumblings of like the HD collection, which they will do, because they keep bundling up all these old things into collections and stuff. So that's inevitable too. There'll be a solid 1, 2, 3, 4 collection at some point. Probably. Yeah. So it's a slam dunk, as the kids say.
Yeah. And Bloober Team did a really good job with the medium too. So
it looked all right.
It looked all right. So I mean, if they do make like a successor or something to Silent Hill, I mean, that would be pretty appealing to a lot of gamers, I think. So
yeah, but I don't know. But every Silent Hill since like The Room. Actually, no, the Wii one was all right. Shattered Memories wasn't too bad, but most of the Silent Hill games have been really shit, and have just utterly missed the point of what Silent Hill was about. So yeah, I don't know. That'd be good. I hope if they go back to the roots and just no shit, they're going to remake 2. Oh, they're going to do a 2 remaster, and it'll piss off everyone.
Well, a strategic cooperation agreement. So, I mean, who knows? I mean, it could be some other horror style game too.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
and then they can bring it, from the publisher who bought you Silent Hill, so they can just pimp that out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd work.
Yeah, we shall see. Okay, so let's move on to PlayStation. Of course, PlayStation made some waves earlier in the week with a couple of studio acquisitions. We're going to be talking about those in a little bit. But first, Dan, your video game of the year of 2020 was Ghost of Tsushima, right?
It was. Yeah. It's a good game.
So, this just a couple of days ago, we got word that the Ghost of Tsushima Directors Cut will be coming in August. So this is from the PlayStation blog and Andrew Goldfarb. So basically, the PS5 exclusive features, for example, lip syncing, Japanese lip syncing.
That was weird.
Yeah, is going to be something that is addressed in the PS5 version. Also, for example, the Iki Island expansion, of course, in Japanese history, Iki Island was also invaded along with Tsushima Island by the Mongols in the 13th century. So Iki Island expansion will be included in this director's cut. So we're going to have more DLC story. And so I'm really wondering, Dan, if this is going to be like a Miles Morales type of kind of expansion when it comes to Iki Island and the story.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Was it different protagonists you're thinking, or?
No, they're saying that it's still going to be a Jin's story, but it's probably going to, focus on some particular character that was a part of his past, like his childhood or something like that.
Okay. All right.
But anyway. 3D audio on PS5, of course, and 4K resolution options and frame rates targeting 60 frames per second. So also transferring your progress. So if you already own Ghost of Tsushima on PS4, you'll be able to transfer your save to PS5 to pick up where you left off. So that's always a good thing to have. Other updates, anyone who already owns Ghost of Tsushima will be able to download a patch containing some new updates. The patch will be some new accessibility options for alternate controller layouts. And then
are they advertising a patch as a feature?
Yeah, can you
of course we can have that that's how patches work. Peace off.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So anyway, so basically, I want to go down and, or I want to talk about for example, the pricing of this. So it kind of gets a little bit tricky here. So I'm going to go ahead and read what they say.
This bit is, okay.
Yeah. So if you already own a Ghost of Tsushima on PS4, you can pre-order an upgrade to Director's Cut on PS4 for $20 US. This upgrade will become available starting on August 20th. And then on August 20th, if you bought the Director's Cut PS4, you will be able to upgrade to the Director's Cut PS5 at any time for $10. And you can also upgrade directly from the original Ghost of Tsushima PS4 to Director's Cut on PS5 for $30 US.
Oh, piss off.
So that is in US dollars. So UK prices and everything else will be described at a later date. So Dan, what do you think of this? I mean, $30. I mean, if you have Ghost of Tsushima on PS4, if you want to upgrade to the Director's Cut on PS5, you have to pay $30. What do you think of that?
Nah, I'm good. I've played it. I've got the platinum. I'm done.
Yeah. Even if it's like a Miles Morales style of DLC, say like 10 to 12 hours worth of content.
Oh, I'll get on the PS4 for bugger all when it's on sale and play it. It's not enough to make me spend the price of a whole new game to replay a game I've got plus some DLC. I'm actually surprised by that, considering, what little there is going on this year for Sony. Like, you would have thought they'd be like, shit, have our best game of the year free upgrade on PS5. Now go buy a PS5 to play it.
Yeah.
Rather than like, you bought your PS5. You managed to find a PS5 through an act of God.
Yeah.
By the way,
God, that's good.
By the way, piss off and pay me an extra $30 for a game you already own when most games are offering a free upgrade to PS5.
Yeah.
So I think that's a bold move. It's not what I would have suggested.
But do you think this bold move is going to become a trend because these director's cuts?
Well, yeah. No, because I think within the next, by the end of this year, we'll stop seeing that shit of making games for PS4 and for PS5. So the crossover period is dead now. So I think upgrades and paid upgrades will be just dead, and it'll just be a case you want the game, you buy the whole new game again on PS5. The upgrade service is on the way out because it doesn't make any sense to keep doing that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of speculation that there's going to be more and more director's cuts. Like, for example, God of War director's cut, even maybe a Bloodborne director's cut.
Hasn't that been announced, the God of War? Or did I dream that? I know that what's that? Another game's had Death Stranding's had a director's cut announced.
Death Stranding's got a director's cut coming for PS5. Yeah, but not God of War yet. But
there will be invariably. It's a nice way to add some tweaks and release it as a director's cut. And
yeah.
But I think that's a bit naughty on Sony for this one. I think they could have done this as a PR move, and they don't need the game's made its friggin' money on both systems already. So just eking out an extra $30 from gamers seems a bit cheeky for me.
Yeah, it's all about the additional content is what they're trying to push, I think, with this Island expansion. But I mean, I don't know. Yeah, honestly, for me, I mean, how different is it going to be from Tsushima Island? It's like, and you get to pet different animals.
I think it's fun. Yeah, I think kind of it's gonna be the same. It's be more of the same. There's nothing wrong with that either. You're gonna make more of the same, make more of the same of the best.
Yeah, I mean, some of the story content. I mean, if you were really into Jin's character, I mean, it might be fun to play. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But for $30 extra just to get it on PS5, I don't know. I don't think so. Not for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of Sony, of course, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut was announced, but earlier in the week, of course, studio acquisitions. Of course, PlayStation, earlier in the week, Housemarque was acquired by PlayStation. And of course, Housemarque, as you know, Dan, has been making games for PlayStation for years. I mean, I was a big fan of Super Stardust HD. back in the day. Right. And of course, Resogun back. I remember when you first got your PS4 out here in Japan, we were playing Resogun together on it. It was amazing. I still love that game to this day. But anyway, I think that was kind of a no-brainer acquisition for Sony. I mean, they've been making games for Sony for so long, but then later in the week, they also acquired Dutch studio Nixxes Software, which is interesting because Nixxes Software specializes in porting games to PC. So, which I think we're starting to see PlayStation's strategy for the future of porting exclusives at a shorter time frame over to PC. I don't know. What do you think, man?
Yeah, no, it's inevitable, isn't it? Tap into that market of they've seen that Xbox has done quite well in there, so why not? It's an extra platform to be selling your games on. It's not direct competition with the PlayStation because you either have a PC or you can have both, but it's not like if you buy a PC you're taken away from the PlayStation. So blah.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, I mean, a couple of acquisitions for PlayStation, of course, and PlayStation seems to be, on this trend of, kind of forming like bonds and relationships with a lot of these studios, like Housemarque and stuff, and then acquiring them in. Whereas Xbox's strategy seems to be like just throw the cash on the table. But of course, Phil Spencer, he made some comments earlier, and he was talking about how a lot of these studios, they want to be bought because they want to show what they can do. And then, having the, the, how can I say it? The security of being, bought by some of these big, companies like Microsoft and stuff like that, and be able to continue to, pour out amazing content.
Right.
And I don't know. What do you think? This is kind of our topic of the show about studio acquisitions. I mean, Phil Spencer, he was saying that, it's, acquiring studios is a good thing. I mean, maybe now, of course, it's different than it was maybe about 10 years ago because, we know the history of Microsoft and, some of their studios that they had and how it just was a disaster. And, those studios either folded or a lot of people left. But, now with, Phil Spencer and all the others that are over at Microsoft now, maybe things have changed. So, I mean, what do you think? Have acquisitions been normalized and are more healthy, or, are you legitimately concerned about the trajectory of the industry, like with larger companies expanding their umbrellas? What do you think, man?
Well, that quote about studios want to be bought. I mean, maybe. I don't think many of them do want to be bought. I think when someone rocks up with a wheelbarrow full of $1 billion and goes, "Do you want this?" They go, "What choice have I got?" That's financial security for my staff and for myself for a long, long, long time. I don't think anyone wants to be bought, especially not by friggin' Microsoft, who have killed so many friggin' studios. The thing I'd be worried about is these good developers who make good games getting bought by Microsoft. Microsoft going, right, we want you to make let's get our random fucking game generator out, a third person tactical pub simulator. Okay, you guys go. And they're like, we haven't made one of those before, and Mike's like, go. That should be the foremost concern, that Microsoft doesn't have a pretty good track record of looking after its studios.
Right. But the argument against that now is with Phil Spencer and the team that they have there now. It's like more like, just keep making what you're making and give us plans for what you're doing, and we'll approve it, man.
Until that doesn't sell a billion copies, because we don't have confidence in it, so we're not going to put the advertising revenue behind it.
That's to be seen. Yeah.
And then sorry, your game didn't sell, we're going to shut you down or incorporate you into another studio. You've lost your identity. The best example of this, freaking Rare. Microsoft that's absolutely killed Rare.
That was before Phil Spencer, though. Yeah,
but Phil Spencer isn't the savior, dude. You need to get off the Phil Spencer teat.
I'm not saying he's a savior, but I mean, look at what he's done since look at what he's done since he took over Xbox. I mean, he's the one that came up with Game Pass. I mean, he's the one that's come up with a lot of the ideas that's pushed Xbox forward and is actually competitive now. I mean, ever since the Xbox One failures, I mean, he was brought on and he's been doing a great job. I'm not saying he's a savior. I mean, we shall see. I mean, but I don't think anybody's a savior. I mean, it's a whole team effort there. But I mean, he's in charge of things, and so far, he's been doing a damn good job. We'll see what happens, but I don't know. You could be right, Dan. You could be right. I mean, in the future, with some of these game studios, and if it's not working out, who knows? But we'll see.
It's inevitable. So. Yeah, the idea of wanting to be bought, I'm massively unconvinced by that. I mean, I just finished reading Blood, Sweat, and Pixels.
Oh, it's great, great book.
Yeah, and I mean, about a third of that book is about someone who sold their company to someone, and then it's been fucking shuttered immediately afterwards. Like,
yeah.
At least two of the chapters are about that, or like getting absolutely bent over by a bigger company,
and the development teams at these studios and the workplace and everything. Yeah, so getting absolutely hammered by the big guys. It's inevitable. Everyone's going to buy up everyone. It kind of makes sense to do so. It is boring. But I understand why you'd want to do that. Everyone being exclusive and all that jazz. Obviously, like the big boys will never have to do that, so there'll never be. I mean, there might be title exclusives from like Capcom and Square Enix and stuff, but I don't think they'll ever be properly bought out. I don't think anyone can afford to. Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine the money that friggin' Microsoft would have to offer Square Enix to go with them full sale? I mean, they'd do it cheap for Sony. If Sony's like, "Hey, Square, we're going to buy you," they'd be like, "Okay."
I think it would be in the same type of money figures as Bethesda, maybe
more. Yeah. If like Dirty Foreigner comes up to Square and they're like, "Hey, we want to buy you," they'll be like, "Oh, piss off! $500 billion, and we'll talk."
Microsoft got the money. Would be like, "Okay, yeah, sure."
I don't. People say things like that, but I don't know. I don't know if they do have all this supposed cash lying around. But it makes sense. They make good games, buy them. And if you do truly leave them to it to continue what they're doing, that's fine. But they have a history of not being able to do that.
Yeah.
With so many, there's a bunch of like they had the chapter on Halo Wars. And it was full of bloody studio interference from Microsoft. I mean, admittedly, the new guard is in, the king is dead, all that jazz.
We'll see. Yeah.
But
this doesn't have so much to do with acquisitions, but how do you feel? I heard recently kind of a comparison between Microsoft and Sony, like with like Game Pass and Sony when it comes to like AAA exclusives. Kind of like a comparison to Netflix and Disney Plus. It's kind of interesting. Like Netflix, Game Pass is kind of like, people have been calling it the Netflix of gaming, where you have so many games to play on Game Pass, whereas, with Sony exclusives, you don't have hundreds, of course, but you play them and then it's like, do you want to, like with Disney Plus subscribers, you watch Loki, you watch, Falcon and Winter Soldier and stuff like that. And then once you're done, it's like, do I want to resubscribe? So it's like with PlayStation games, you play these big exclusives, it's like, wow, they were great. But then it's like, well, what do I have now? So I thought that was pretty interesting. I don't know. What do you think of that? I
guess, but you could also extend that analogy to, there's a lot of trash on Netflix. They just put on there to boost the numbers.
Right. That's true.
That absolutely applies to Xbox Game Pass as well. So I think it's pretty accurate, and that is a concern. Having the amazing things, but short-lived. Versus the sheer amount of content.
And
there is some. Let's not be serious. I mean, there's some crap on Game Pass, just surely there to make up numbers.
Yeah,
something like freaking what would be a glorious XBLA game at best is on there, and there's no sure amount. There's a lot of them. So for every freaking medium or Forza,
right,
there's like 20 others, 30 others of just smaller little indie games. So
yeah.
I
mean, the same could be said about every storefront. Like the PlayStation storefront had hundreds of games like that too, and like on Steam and whatever, but
but we're not talking about that. All storefronts have that, but as to include it in a subscription service, to pad out numbers, that's a different thing.
Yes,
and I think that that's quite a good analogy, and that's why freaking Disney is now churning out quality, what they hope is quality content at an alarming rate now. There's like friggin' 12 Star Wars ongoing things on Disney Plus right now. Which that's hyperbole, of course there isn't, but there's a lot. I mean, they are pumping stuff out at quite an impressive rate, and fair play to them, because like you said, once you've watched the original trilogy and once you've watched all your favorite Disney movies, what do? Do you hang around for, I don't know, is Hannah Montana on there? I don't know. Do you hang around for that? I wanted to put more documentary content on there, because there's some good stuff on there. I hope they expand that, actually.
Yeah, but in that argument, though, about Netflix, though, Netflix does put out some quality content, and it comes month after month after month. Yeah, so, I mean, with Game Pass, it's kind of the same, especially from this month, because July, The Ascent is coming out, and that's a highly anticipated game. And then each month after that, there's going to be big games coming to it. So we'll see. I don't know, but
that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that that is the case, but there's also a lot of padding.
Oh, all right. So anyway, it's now time for Dan, your topic of the show. So or the retro topic of the show, I should say. So Dan usually has a topic from the world of retro gaming. So what do you got for us this week, Dan? Was it Alex Kidd, right? Yeah.
That's right. I plumped. I pre-ordered, going against my rule, but it was 20 quid, so who cares? I pre-ordered and bought Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX for the PlayStation 4. It was out on the Switch as well, but it was like an extra £5. I'm like, I'm sick of the Switch tax, by the way. That needs to fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Adding £5 to every game that comes out on the Switch is really, really lame. So yeah, it's the remake of the Master System classic would-be mascot platformer game, Alex Kidd. As you know, anyone heard of Master System or certain versions of Master System 2? It came on the BIOS, so if you turn the console on without a game in it, it would load up into Alex Kidd, which was really good, really fun. Fun fact, prior to that, it had Safari. The original Power Base had Safari and Super Hang-On, and the later versions of the Master System 2 had Sonic built in. So it's amazing. You turn the machine on and Sonic played. Excellent. And also, Sonic for the Master System is actually really good. It's awesome. Anyway, but Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX. So it's a remake of the 8-bit failed mascot platformer. And it's a weird one. So it's one of those games where you can play in the new fancy, beautiful, hand-drawn-esque pixel graphics, or you can press a button and it'll flip back to the original 8-bit graphics. Now, there was a huge dissonance between the new graphics and the core engine that's running underneath. And actually, it was far easier to play the game by switching it back across to the original graphics, because like all the hit points are the same. So like the size of a platform, like a block hanging in the air, is a set size. It's like 64 by 64 pixels, for example, right?
Yeah.
And your 8-bit sprite is like 16. So you can easily jump and pretty much guess where you're going to land on this platform. But like with the new fancy graphics, it's not that clear, because the new fancy sprite is quite a bit wider and like has this flowing graphics around it. So it's actually, I found it really freaking hard to know when I was going to land on a platform. And that's key. That's imperative in a platform game.
Yeah.
There are some weird mechanics. Like when they announced they're making this game, it's going to be the great Alex Kidd, but we're going to have some quality of life improvements on it.
Yeah.
And that seems to be continues, because they haven't updated the control scheme, they haven't updated the inertia, they haven't updated the jumping mechanic. So it's fundamentally an 8-bit game that looks like a modern day, a current generation game. So the jumping is friggin' hard. Like the jumping is so running left and right. It's digital. So if you're pressing nothing, you're going nowhere. If you're pressing right, you're going right at 200 pixels a second. You're absolutely blazing across the screen. Whereas other games, there's a slow ramp up. It works as a multiplier. So you know it's inertia times 0.9, for example, right?
I see.
So and then you start at 1, and you gradually get faster and faster and faster. This doesn't do that. This goes from 0 to 200, meaning it's fucking impossible. Like if you're trying to do a precision jump, it's so hard. But you know, if you persevere, I've had another good go at it, and I've had a couple of goes. It is all right. It looks amazing. The art style is amazing. There have been comparisons to the Wonder Boy and Monster Boy remakes. Well, not exactly the same because the Monster Boy and Wonder Boy are hand drawn, whereas this is pixel art. It does look pretty damn amazing. But Jesus H Christ, like they really should have gone back and just tweaked the core mechanics of it, and it wouldn't have lost anything. It wouldn't have lost anything in translation if they had added in, you know, a multiplier based movement, you know, or if they had just up friction a bit, because like you land and you can easily just skate off a platform.
Wow.
Yeah, and if you wanted to do a jump between platforms, so if you're running right and you're going to jump on another platform, you've got to immediately jump again. It's so hard because again you're doing 200,000 miles an hour, so it becomes more of a reaction test in a platform game. But again, a lot of this is mitigated by going back to the original graphics, and it's bizarre. It's actually easier to play with the 8-bit Master System graphics than it is with the modern fancy graphics.
Do you think that's something they could bring out a patch for?
Oh my god, I really hope they do, because it wouldn't take that much to patch that out.
Yeah.
And like I said, it wouldn't lose much if you just added that simple, or just you know, amplified it, just made it a bit more controllable. Because there are times when you feel like the guys on roller skates. You're barely hanging on to it. It's like Sonic. But again, it isn't meant to be played fast like that. I don't know, but that's just my impression. I mean, I don't want to shit on the guys, because they're like a group of people who formed an indie studio and they freaking love Alex Kidd, and that does show. Like, love for the source material is oozing out of this game. They really are into Alex Kidd, and it makes sense. There was an interview in a Retro Gamer magazine, about 9 months ago, and they talked about it and how they would stay true to original vision. And yeah, and it's obviously is the same game. They've added stuff to it. They've added levels. They've added like interstitial levels, and they've added an overworld map. None of that happens. So in the Master System game, you start the game and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games finished now. So in this one, they've added some interstitial stuff, interstitial stages between, you know, things, and they've added an overworld map, so you've got a better idea of what you're doing and where you're going. But yeah, it still also annoyingly has Janken matches. So bosses, you defeat bosses by just doing rock, paper, scissors, which is perverse. And that's one of the things I remember playing as a kid, and that was one of the early times I thought, what the F? This is really unfair. I'm being punished. Like, it takes any skill out of the game. Now, later on, you learn that that's not the case, because there's a pattern to all of the Janken battles. You can win them all. You just have to memorize the patterns. It wasn't random at all. So if the first time the enemy... So if the first time the enemy plays a fist, you know that, okay, the next one is going to do a scissors, and that's going to be another fist or whatever. So you could learn the pattern, but that first one you could lose. But unless you had a guide, you had to play 20 different versions of Janken to work out what this boss's pattern was. And of course, that means you've got to play from 0 to the boss. Now, the final boss is also that, which means you've got to play the entire game, get to the final boss, and he goes, I beat you through rock, paper, scissors. And it's like... What's my reward here? Like, why am I being punished for diligently playing this bloody game?
Could you just
really
imagine
weird.
something like that in a Souls game? You're like at the final boss, rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. You got to play me at chess. You got to play friggin' Lady Mario at freaking chess. It's like, thanks. But no, I hope they do patch it out. I hope they do make some actual quality of life adjustments as promised. Because fundamentally, it's just an 8-bit game with freaking 64-bit graphics. Yeah,
cool.
It's not a bad thing, And it came with a free keyring.
Awesome.
So it comes with a free keyring, and it came with a reversible sleeve. So it has PS4 on one side, and if you flip it over, it has like an original Master System style art on the box. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
But yeah, it could have done more. But yeah, check it out. You might like it. Wait for it to go on sale, etc. Pick up for a $5, have a go at it.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's hard to recommend, really.
I see. All right. Thanks, Dan, for that. So that was Dan's retro topic of the week. And actually, Dan, we have something from our other co-host, Burley, of Burleyman Gaming. He has a little bit of a rant kind of discussion about Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. Yeah. So we're going to take a listen to that real quick, and then we'll have a little bit to say about it right after this.
Sure.
So take it away, Burley.
Hey everyone, Burleyman Gaming here, giving you my thoughts of the Pixel Perfect Final Fantasy remasters as we now have more information. We now know 1, 2, and 3 are coming out July 28th. But you can also buy the bundle. You can buy them separately or buy a bundle for 1 through 6. For here in Canada, the bundle's price is $99.78, which is insane. Insane. They don't have the prices listed for 4, 5, and 6, but they do have the prices for 1, 2, and 3. 1 being $12.79, but it's on sale from $15.99. 2 being $12.79, they're $15.99, and 3 from $19.19 is the sale price, and $23.99 is the regular price. The interesting thing is, for this version of Final Fantasy III, it'll be the first time in North America that we get the game, the 2D version of the game, with an English, being in English, because the versions of Final Fantasy III we got in the mid-2000s, around 2006, were 3D. And you got those for the DS and the PSP. I'm surprised that 4, 5, and 6 don't have release dates, and Square has put out a notice that 5 and 6 are coming off Steam, yet the 3D remake version of 4, to my knowledge, is still staying, which I highly recommend go checking out. Square, I don't know why this collection is only just on Steam or mobile. I highly encourage people that if you're looking at playing these games, look elsewhere. There are other ways and better collections and better ways to play these games, and cheaper. We need to vote with our wallets, so that way Square knows they can't just do this again.
So, Dan, what do you think of what Burley said? Those prices, especially in Canada. Whew.
I love that guy.
Yes.
What I want to say is that I agree. But then I don't see what the problem is. So in the UK, it's the same. In the UK, it's like £92 for 6 ancient RPGs that have already been put together in numerous collections. I don't know where they're getting the idea for this price from.
Yeah,
he's right. It's friggin' bonkers.
Why are they pricing it so high, man?
I don't know.
Why? Yeah,
I don't. They've. But this is the thing. Like they've released them on mobile for the same price. Like one game was like £15 on mobile, and I don't know. And like Burley's getting angry, but I don't know why Burley's getting angry, because Burley bought an Xbox. Whatever
Series S, yes,
right. He bought that so he could put retro art on it and play retro games on it, right?
Yeah.
So he's already got access to Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with all the features already. So what's his problem? He's got them all for free. So just don't buy them. Yeah. Like you've got, dude. He can up. So those. I mean, fundamentally, these games are unchanged. It's the name, the clue's the name. It's Pixel. It's going to be pixel perfect recreations of Final Fantasy 1 through to 6. And like, so what do you care? You've got that on an emulator on your Xbox. So you've got all these things for free, and and you can do more. So you can add. So Retro has like scan lines and filters and borders, and you can assign your own hotkeys and macros and like. Why does he care? Like the first thing, when I listen to his rant, I'm like, yeah, dude, but you've got the means, and so does everyone, by the way. Everyone out there, you have the means to play these games for free, illegally, possibly, but you can do it right now, and you can play that. You can play them in 4K pixely. Retroarch upscales to whatever resolution you bloody well want to run it on. And like, the only difference is like they've got HD menus. Like, it's not pixel art on the. It's not pixel based text anymore. It's like freaking, fonts, like true type font text in the menus and stuff. It's like, well, what do you care?
Yeah.
So I don't.
Hey, we love you, Burley.
No. I get why he's mad, but I don't know why he's. I don't know why he cares, because he's got access to all these things in a format that's better than is being sold to him. So just do that. Just use your freaking RetroArch console and do that.
Yeah.
Unless is there some sort of arbitrary Steam trophy support? At which point, who cares?
Yeah. I
think like even RetroArch has freaking trophy support now. I think people make their own custom trophy lists. Yeah. You can have achievements on it. Brilliant. So you can have the same experience for free. I don't know. I think it's a bold move by Square. I think it's shameless.
Yeah.
Because of course, but this isn't for us. I mean, they know that in Japan, you could charge you friggin' $50 each. In Japan, they'll bloody pay it.
Yeah,
they don't care. They want to play these games again.
Yeah.
So it's just weird. Just don't buy it.
Yep. But anyway, Burley, thank you so much for that on the Final Fantasy Pixel remaster. Dan, it's time. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we still don't know we only know what 1, 2, and 3 are costing. So we know that 1, 2, and 3 are going to be like $20 each, inexplicably. And like when 4, 5, and 6, the big games come out, like 6, I'm telling you now. I'm not even joking. 6, which is the best Final Fantasy game. Let's not kid ourselves, people. The best Final Fantasy game is 6, and that's going to be $40 easy, because they know everyone's going to be like, I have to have that. It's the best one. So it's going to be. Yeah, sorry. In the UK, if you pre-order them, you get a 22% discount. So if you pre-order all 6 games, it's £55.
Jeez.
Or you get an emulator and you download them all for free. Because I mean, if you're like me, you've bought these games in one form or another over the years anyway. So meh.
All right. Well, it's time to move on to our new and upcoming video games for the week of July 5th through 11th. There are 7 games on the list this week. So starting off on July 6th, Crowfall. I don't know if you've heard about this one, Dan. Crowfall.
I have not.
Yeah, it's it's exclusive to PC. That's probably why you haven't. It's a MMORPG. Comes out on July 6th. So, massive multiplayer online role-playing game, real-time strategy game developed by Artcraft. So, not much really to say on it. So, July 6th for PC. So, Next up, this is a big one, and it's actually we're going to be talking about the PS Plus games and the Xbox games with gold for July. This is going to be the PS Plus game for the PS5, A Plague Tale: Innocence.
Right, yeah.
Action adventure. So it's getting upgrades for PS5, Xbox Series X, and Nintendo Switch.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I highly recommend this game. This is one of my games of the year. So when it came out. So follow the grim tale of young Amicia and her little brother Hugo in a heart-rending journey through the darkest hours of history. Haunted by Inquisition soldiers and surrounded by unstoppable swarms of rats, Amicia and Hugo will come to know and trust each other. As they struggle to survive against overwhelming odds, they will fight to find purpose in this brutal, unforgiving world. Yeah, the art style is very beautiful, and you'll never, ever in another video game see as many rats.
Specialized rat engine. That's good.
Yeah, kind of a rat engine, yeah. So, it's... and, of course, during the Xbox event during E3, they announced the sequel. It's called A Plague Tale Requiem. So that's going to be coming to Game Pass on day one when it comes out sometime next year. So if you have a PS5, those of you that possibly might have a PS5 by now, those of you in the minority, I guess, pick this one up. It's if you have PS Plus, it's an amazing game. Sniper Elite VR comes out on July 8th. Tactical shooter, PS4 and PC. So yay, we get to see people's brains splatter everywhere in VR. A brand new addition to Rebellion's multi-million selling Sniper Elite series, you will experience a powerful World War II story through the eyes of an Italian partisan, rising with your brothers and sisters to protect your homeland from the fascist forces that threaten to destroy your homeland. So, action shooter light gun comes out on July 8th. I don't know. Dan, when was the last time you played a VR game? God, for me, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I played Squadrons a while ago, just after Christmas, I think. I played that.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've played something since then, though.
Yeah. Next up on the list.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Hold the phones.
Yes.
The last VR game I played was Denture to Go, train driving in VR, and it's the best use of VR I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, let's move on.
Oh, okay. On PSVR, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cool. Next up on the list, Monster Hunter Stories 2 comes out on July 9th for PC and Nintendo Switch. So Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, offers both RPG and Monster Hunter fans a unique new experience with a rich storyline featuring charming characters, challenging quests, and friendly encounters with familiar monsters from the Monster Hunter series. So, yeah. So, I don't know. I would probably get this on the Switch, but it's also available for PC.
Okay.
Next up on the list, Where the Heart Leads, adventure for PS5 and PS4. So it's a PlayStation adventure game here. On the kind of stormy night that can change a person's destiny, an enormous sinkhole opens in the middle of Whit Anderson's farm. Braving the rumbling thunder and the driving rain, Casey, their curious golden retriever, ventures too close to the gaping maw and tumbles in. Desperate to save her, Whit descends into the darkness and emerges in a realm beyond his imagining. In this strange world, constantly shifting like the stops and starts of a dream, Whit bears witness to the story of his life and gains the power to change it. So, seems like an interesting little story. Adventure journey. So, next up on the list, F1 2021. So, on July 13th, a racing game for PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So, if you're into racing games, F1 2021 is coming out. So,
it's your jam.
Yeah.
Is that the first one from Codemasters after their buyout by EA? Must be right.
I think so.
Codemasters game. They've got the F1 license.
Yeah. I'll just wait for Forza Horizon 5. So that one's coming later this year in the fall, I think it is, but it's just me. And finally on the list, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD on July 16th for the Nintendo Switch, of course, exclusive to the Switch. So take to the skies, draw your sword, and experience the earliest story in the Legend of Zelda series. Join Link in his high-flying quest to save Zelda, a childhood friend who must confront her destiny. Soar between floating islands and descend to the treacherous surface world in this updated HD version of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. So, Dan, do you recommend this one?
Yeah.
With the upgrades and everything?
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they're going to do, because I freaking hate motion controls. So I'm looking forward to seeing how. Well, it's mapped to the right stick now. So if you press down, you just down swipe. You press up. That's exciting. So I think that's going to be really good. It's obviously it's going to default to motion controls. You have to tell it to not do that. But I'm looking forward to playing this again. I got into it. Well, not a little spat, but I had a little comment thing on Reddit because someone posted like a Zelda meme, and I was like about Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
About saying it's not very good, and I was like, actually, Skyward Sword. All right, everyone listen out there. Listen to this. What I have to say.
Okay.
Skyward Sword is better than Breath of the Wild. Deal with it. Deal with it. Breath of the Wild is fucking overrated. Yeah.
You heard that from Dan, everyone.
It's a fact. Right, so I'm not being funny. One quick thing. So, I'm on record. I don't think it's very good. It's a bad Zelda game. And I would tell you
you're
now...
talking about Breath of the Wild, right? Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
If Breath of the Wild was a game by any other name, it would be in the 70s.
Okay.
100%. If that was Billy Bob's Adventures in the grassy plains, that would get 70%. We all know it. Stop kidding yourselves, people. Stop lying to yourselves. Anyway, I'm well excited for Scott. I'm looking forward to getting back and playing it again. I've not played it since the Wii original, and I played the shit out of it when I had that.
Cool.
Yeah, I got the special edition one with the gold Wii remote and all that cool stuff. Yeah, no, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. So I'm excited to get back in that and play it again on the Switch.
Have you ever played? This is kind of an off Zelda game, but was it Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity? Have you played that?
Not my cup of tea. Yeah, it's that same Dynasty Warriors, just mindlessly mashing X until all enemies are dead.
I see.
Yeah, not my cup of tea. No, I haven't. I understand they're doing quite well, but again, it's because it's got the friggin' Zelda word on it.
No.
If you want to sell a game, no matter how mediocre it is, just put fucking Zelda on it, and it will sell buckets. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Do not underestimate shrieking Nintendo fanboys. They'll tear you apart.
So, our pick of the week. Crowfall, A Plague Tale Innocent, Sniper Elite VR, Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, Where the Heart Leads, F1 2021, or Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. Which is your pick, Dan?
How is a game that comes out in 2 weeks' time a game of the week? What's the maths on that one?
Okay.
My game of this week and next. Well, it's true though. No, you're absolutely right. My game of this week and next week is obviously Zelda. I'm looking forward to playing that. It's gonna be good. I thought it was coming out later this month, but it's great. I'm happy. Next week,
July 16th. Cool.
Yeah. I thought it was later. I thought it was like 28th or something. But cool, awesome. Up for that. Yeah, that one. What about you?
That would. If I had not played A Plague Tale Innocence, that would have been my pick. But because but I've already played it, so for me, I think Skyward Sword, because honestly, I've never played it, so I'd love to play it. Of course, it's a Wii game, right? Right, Dan? It came out on the Wii,
It did.
So,
and I think did it have a Wii U re HD? Probably, I can't remember now. But it was a Wii game originally.
So definitely Skyward Sword HD for me this week, or this coming week. So, but definitely A Plague Tale Innocence would be number 2. I mean, it's an amazing game. You should play it. It's great.
All right. I'll try and look into that.
Yeah, it's on PS4 too, I think so.
Right.
Yeah, you can pick that up.
Cool.
Okay, and of course, next up, the beginning of the month, of course, are Xbox Live Gold games and PS Plus games for the month of July. So Xbox, we'll start with them first. Xbox Live Gold members have an exclusive access to these games for a limited time, of course. Games with Gold. So Game Pass Ultimate subscribers, of course, get these games as well. So the first game, Planet Alpha, comes out. It's available from July 1st to the 31st. Survive a strange planet filled with danger and mystery, marooned and alone. Venture across a beautiful foreign land and unlock its many hidden secrets. With relentless enemies pursuing you, harness the power of night and day in your fight to stay alive in this alien world. And next up, Rock of Ages 3, Make and Break, is available from July 16th to August 15th. Jump into a sprawling, gut-busting story featuring bizarre and absurd takes on legendary characters. Design, build, and share your custom levels with friends in this Monty Python-esque tower defense and arcade game. So have you ever played that one, Dan?
I played the first one on like the PS3 way back.
Well, speaking of way back, Conquer Live and Reloaded. Yes, Live and Reloaded. Available July 1st through 15th. So back with a hangover and a heavy dose of attitude, play gaming's notorious squirrel, Conquer. Through a raunchy world full of twisted characters, innuendos, and outrageous movie parodies. So that was an original Xbox game, wasn't it, Dan?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, Conquer.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was an N64 game.
Wow.
And then they kind of re-poured it over, and that was how the Live and Reloaded thing came about. Yeah. Yep.
And this one, I think, is going to be right up your alley, Dan. So available July 16th through the 31st, Midway Arcade Origins.
Actually, that might be good. What's on that?
With more than 30 timeless entries from the golden age of arcade gaming, relive your childhood or discover classic games for the first time, such as Defender, Gauntlet, Rampart, and more. No quarters needed to play.
Oh, look at this. That was some good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Midway Arcade Origins. Yeah.
Tubin. I like Tubin. That's a good game. Oh dear. Oh, Root Beer Tapper. I bloody love Tapper. That's awesome. Okay. Gauntlet 1 and 2 as well. Oh, that's okay. Oh, it's not coming to Switch. What, the Switch isn't powerful enough to run fucking 40-year-old arcade games? What the F?
Well, this is a Xbox remake. Live. Yeah, Xbox Live Gold. So,
of course. This has already been out. This is a PS3 game. Okay. All right. Interesting. Well, whatever.
Okay, cool. So that's the list of Xbox Live Gold games. Now on to PS Plus for July. Of course, first game on the list for PS4, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is coming. So
okay, it's not a bad shout.
Yeah, not bad. And then also coming is WWE 2K Battleground. So if you're into like wrestling stuff.
Which we know is shit. That's had a beating, I think. No, is that the cartoony one that isn't that bad? No, I think that's the cartoony one that isn't as bad as the other one.
Cartoonish arcade-style grappling action. Yeah.
The realistic one was absolute dog eggs and got rightfully torn apart for being a glitchy, broken mess. But okay, that's cool.
Yep. So those are the two games for PS4, and then the PS5 title, of course, we talked about. Plague Tale: Innocence. So
yeah.
So
and again, that kind. I'm sorry, go on.
No, go ahead, Dan.
I was going to say that kind of highlights the whole thing we talked about earlier about Xbox Game Pass versus Sony, because like the games coming to Game Pass. Yeah. I mean, like I said, they're none of those are big hitters. They're all kind of little, Xbox Live Arcade-esque games.
I mean, it's Xbox Live with Gold. I mean, so. It's kind of like a different service in a sense. It's been around longer. But still, those games are still kind of like,
of
course, yeah. So I think eventually Xbox Live games with Gold might go away because of Game Pass. I think. There's been speculation that they're gonna, at some point probably cancel that and just move everybody that was a subscriber to that over to Game Pass. I don't know,
you think, wouldn't you? That it doesn't make any sense having that fractured base there. Just get rid of it.
Yeah. Similarly, the same could be said for PS Plus with PS Now.
They need that. We've talked this numerous times. They need to kill off Now and just incorporate it into PlayStation Plus. I don't know. I don't know anyone that uses PlayStation Now. No one talks about PlayStation Now. Yeah. I've got no idea. I know more about Xbox Game Pass than I do about freaking Now, and I don't even own an. Well, I do own an Xbox, but I don't use it. Yeah. That's something they need to fix pretty damn quickly if you want to stay relevant.
Okay, one last thing about the PS Plus games. So last month's games, Star Wars Squadrons and Operation Tango, are available until July 5th. So until early next week. So pick those up if you haven't already.
Yeah, get Squadrons. That's freaking awesome. That was my game of the year last year, I think, actually. I think that pipped freaking Ghost of Tsushima. I can't remember. Maybe the year before. I can't remember when that came out. But that's awesome.
Yeah.
Get it.
Yeah. And like I said, Plague's Tale: Innocence. It's an amazing game. So get that as well. So. Okay, so before we conclude the episode, I want to let everyone know where you can find me on social media. You can find my YouTube channel for gaming content at youtube.com/expat2020gaming and at expat2020.live. My other social media links to Twitter, Instagram, the Arena Podcast Discord server, and the podcast website are at linktr. That is linktr.ee/expat2020. And I'm also a live streamer and Twitch affiliate on twitch.tv/expat2020. And I do occasional gaming and special event live streams for the podcast, as well as a supplement to the show called The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news week in review live stream. Finally, we now have a special bonus series, which is a part of the podcast, called The Arena Extra Take, that focuses on spoiler and spoiler-free gaming reviews, game industry-related discussions, and interviews with special guests. It goes up to Patreon exclusively for patrons at patreon.com/expat2020. So please visit the site for further details. And probably we're going to be doing another episode quite soon about Skyward Sword HD. So, stay tuned for that. So that does it for me. How about you, Dan? Where can people find you? What's going on this coming week?
I'm on Twitch. I'm on my path to being an affiliate. I'm not. I couldn't care less. But I keep getting told by Twitch that you're nearly there. Just do this. I'm like, I couldn't care less. I've already got
I know.
I've got a real job. It's fine. So I'm on Twitch. Press start to game. I'm on there. I'm on the Center for Computing History YouTube channel. I did a Game Boy video not so long ago.
Cool.
Like I said, there are whole generations of people who don't know what a Game Boy is, which is actually freaking true. It's mortifying. What else? And I have a YouTube channel under the same name, Press Start to Game. And I do a lot of my Twitches and I upload them there. So
cool.
Yeah, and I got a video. Hopefully, I'm going to do a video this weekend on some more train-based stuff. But that's me.
You did a video recently on Metroid, the Metroid one, right? That you.
I don't know. Did I? I can't remember. I did the Twitch on the original NES Metroid, which was a disaster, which I since deleted because it was just me swearing at it.
Okay.
But yesterday I played Zero Mission for a long time, and I uploaded that to my YouTube channel. So if you want to watch me play Zero Mission for a couple of hours and talk shit about how awesome the Metroid series is,
cool.
You can find that there.
Yeah. And hopefully I can get you I was going to say, hopefully for the extra take, hopefully I can get you on one of the episodes for the History of Sim games. Yeah. We're looking forward to doing that with you. Yeah. Yeah.
History of Train Sim, I'm there. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, sure. Awesome. Yeah. So looking forward to doing that with you at some point in the near future. So
cool.
Okay, so to end the show, our indie recording artist spotlight. So this week's spotlight is on the duo called Giants and Pilgrims. Tim and Bettany Coons are Giants and Pilgrims. From the worlds of love, struggle, and the ongoing process of growing up, their music maintains a positive focus on realizing who and where you are. The sound has its foundation in singer-songwriter styles, blended with beautiful and unique instrumentation, creating a cinematic indie folk sound that stays pensive and honest. From their album titled Bellwether, and the song is called Settle Down. This has been The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, episode 43. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Dan. We hope to catch you in the next one. So take care, everyone. Peace out.
Bye.
Just like an evening dress, break to the right, sway to the left. In the morning everything is spent, and I make my way back home. What the wires couldn't catch fails to give certainty, and the world serves around, round, round, round. separate acts that ends in disgrace.